What's going, boys? It's your boy J Pizzy, and we're back with another video. No live cam today because my hair looks crazy. Alright, so let's jump straight into it. We're going to be looking at Labrynth. I want to show you guys some combos that I found in the deck and some flex spots, right? So let's jump straight into the deck list and let's have a look at the deck itself. So, as I've been playing with the deck, I've learned so much, right? Let's talk about the deck really quickly, the one I'm running. So I'm running the Cool Clock, the furniture version. We're running 2 Cool Clocks, 3 of the Stovey. I'm going to walk through this a little bit. You know, your regular 3 Maxi, your 3 Ash Blossoms, and then 3 Chandelier, 1 Irene. I'll explain why Irene is in the deck in a minute. And then 3 Ariana. We have Keldo and Medora. You can switch this out for the 2 Bestials. So it all depends on you. I feel like Keldo and Medora gives you so much more interruptions versus other decks besides Tier. So you can also interrupt Adamantipator or Naturier. These are some decks that Keldo and Medora really do shine against, right? So do keep that in mind. Also zombies, it works really well against zombies, right? So if you're able to get both of them in the graveyard, you're able to now shuffle your opponent's monsters in the graveyard back into the deck, which I feel is so much more useful than just banishing 1 card and special summoning a 25 beat stick, right? It's up to you guys. If you want to switch these out for the Bestials, you can. We want one Lovely, 2 Ladies. I've been thinking about upping Lovely's count because usually if they get rid of this, your only other way to pop monsters or pop cards on the field is with Labrynth. So I have been thinking about upping Lovely, but there's no space in the deck for her, so we didn't do it. We have 3 pots, right? So keep this in mind, guys, when you're playing the deck. When you activate pot, you can't draw anymore for the rest of the turn, so you can't activate Maxi. Your Maxi is basically become a dead card, okay? So just do keep that in mind. We want 1 Eradicated Epidemic Virus. This card just wins you games. 1 Dimensional Barrier. This one also wins you games, so you need it. 2 Evenly Matched, because in upper ranks, closer towards, you know, towards master, because I'm actually pretty close to master with this deck. I just haven't been able to grind to it. My daughter is 6, so I'm taking care of her, but I am going to finish that grind all the way up to master with the deck, and we're going to look at some replays today, okay? So 2 Evenly Matched. We got 3 Imperms. You need the 3 Imperms to be able to interrupt your opponent on their turn. If it's up to me, you could probably drop the Imperms down to 2 and put the Evenly Matches up to 3 if you keep on running into combo decks and you're not getting first. It just happens. 1 Dogmatica Punishment, so we can get some pops off on the field if we need to and be able to get a free draw sometimes, okay? I'm going to explain that to you guys. 2 Welcome Labrynth and 3 Big Welcome. You're probably saying we have no counter traps. The reason why I don't run the counter traps is because I already have Keldo and Medora. If you could fit Call by the Grave into the deck, you would probably want to drop Irene and maybe drop one of your I don't know what you would want to drop. I would drop one of my furnitures and then add in Call by the Grave. But me personally, Irene was just putting in too much work, and I'm going to explain to you guys how Irene was putting in so much work, okay? So for the extra deck is very important. People think the extra deck does not matter in Labrynth. It is very important inside of Labrynth. Let me tell you, because every time your opponent outs your trap cards, you have to think of this. Am I going to have enough interruptions to stop my opponent through their turn, okay? If Lovely can pop 2 cards in my opponent's hand, that usually means that they're left with 4, okay? Because they draw 1 off their turn, right? So you need to have another backup plan. So here's my backup plans, right? We have Gigantic Sprite in the deck. Gigantic Sprite is a free search for Maxi. So if you're able to set up Stovey on field and Ariana on field, which is possible, you can link Stovey and Ariana away into Elf. Elf bring back Stovey. Elf and Stovey into Sprite, Gigantic Sprite summon out Maxi, and then on your opponent's turn, you just use Big Welcome Labrynth to bring Maxi back to your hand and you activate Maxi, okay? So that's why Gigantic Sprite is here in the deck and Elf is in the deck as well, right? We have Dweller. If you come up against a 60 card version of the deck and you draw into Irene, it's an automatic win, okay? I'm going to show you guys exactly how that's done, right? You just use Irene, you normal summon it, you send one of your traps. I usually try to send my Imperms or anything else. It all depends, right? And if you're able to get Lovely on field, then it really does all depend, right? And then we also have DDD Wave King Caesar, which this card has been put in work. Keep in mind though, guys, Extravagance can banish your cards, so do keep this in mind. DDD Wave King Caesar, this is the DDD King package, okay? So we run 2 Caesars, 1 Marksman, and 1 Divisor, okay? The reason is because Divisor with Caesar and Marksman, he can suck up 3 of your opponent's cards on their turn. So if you're able to set up Irene with Ariana and get Welcome Labrynth and Big Welcome on the field, that's basically full board, okay? And I'm going to show you guys a replay where I got that board where my opponent realized that he couldn't do anything and he just didn't let me cook anymore. I got rid of 2 cards in his hand, so he's starting to turn with 4 cards, and my king was sucking up 3 of his monsters every time he activated them, right? So he was definitely in a losing position. And if you really wanted to, you can make this into like a 5 material Zeus, right? It would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be 5 material Zeus, okay? So if your opponent destroys one of your monsters, you could just go into Zeus and Zeus the entire field. And I'm gonna show you guys a replay where I went into Zeus and I had my entire Labrynth engine going at the exact same time, and my opponent didn't know which cards to deal with. Should he deal with Zeus first, or should he deal with my Labrynth engine first? He was so confused, and I think he only had like 3,000 life, right? We already explained the elf. Mudcracker is if you're able to get Cool Clock and Stovey on field at the exact same time. You send both of them to the graveyard because Cool Clock and Mudcracker, and Stovey are recyclable, so on your next turn you can always get them back. So you just send those 2 to the graveyard, and then you could discard 1. Hopefully you're discarding your Keldoras and Medoras and be able to special summon either your Ariana or your Lovely back onto the field, okay? Sometimes I do send Lady and something else in case I want to put Lady in attack position, just so we could go for games sometimes. There is a combo where you can get Underworld Goddess to get rid of one of your opponent's big monsters on the field, right? And in that combo, you're able to summon out Stovey, you're able to summon out Clockwork, and you're able to summon out Ariana, and you'll be able to go into Underworld Goddess. Am I missing any cards? Oh, right, and you'll be able to summon out Lady. So it's Lady, Ariana, Stovey, and Clockwork all on the field, and you just use your opponent's monster as the last link. We have Tri-Brigade Arms in here, so we can dump Garura to be able to draw 1 card. So when we pop one of our opponent's big monsters, we get a free draw as well, okay? So let's jump straight into the replays. We're only showing you guys 3 replays. This is just a deck list video. I'm explaining everything in the deck that I have here. There is some flex spots, as again, I already told you guys about the Bestial's flex spot. Right, so you can go ahead and add in the Bestial combo, which is just Magma Mutt and Druid Swarm, and you just take out Keldo and Medora, and there you go. You have them slotted in now. You can also take out the Keldo, and you could also take out the Bestials. Leave the Keldo and Medora. It's all up to you. Sometimes I did have myself taking out the Evenly matches and just putting Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is such an impactful card, guys. If you are able to Call by the Grave your opponent's Ash or Max C, it sometimes just end the turn for them, especially because Ash kills this deck a lot. So Call by the Grave is a very impactful card inside of the deck as well. There was a time I just put it in and it literally won me the next duel that I put in, right? So do keep that in mind. But if you don't run Evenly Match, unfortunately in this meta, you won't be able to break through boards on turn 2. So if you're not going first, Evenly Match is kind of dead. And if you're going second, Call by the Grave is dead. So just keep that in mind between the 2 of them. Obviously, you can drop Ariana if you want to and add in stuff like Skill Drain. I personally don't like continuous trap cards that stop you from playing the game. So that's why I don't have Skill Drain in here. Here's Skill Drain, because Skill Drain is to 1, so you can add in your Skill Drain, turn off your opponent's monsters. It's all up to you guys. I personally don't like Skill Drain. It's just not my cup of tea. But so yeah. Alright, so let's jump straight into the replays, guys, and hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Be right back. Alright, so here we go. Game 1. We're going up against Dragon Link. Can't wait to show you guys this. So here we're going to go ahead and activate Pot of Extravagance. Pot of Extravagance draws me into Labrynth, and we draw into Dimensional Barrier. So I'm like, perfect. I'm gonna just set Dimensional Barrier. We use Lovely because Lovely is recyclable and Stovey can come back to my hand. So whatever we summon, we can summon Lovely off of Big Welcome, and then bring Lovely back to my hand, right? Or we could go into Ariana and then special summon Lovely off of the effect of Dimensional Barrier, okay? So my opponent is playing Dragon Link. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm gonna try to get rid of his normal summon. We also stopped his quick launch with Ash Blossom. Stovey is gonna be able to come to the field because we special summoned Lady. So now Lady's on the field, and then now we're able to set up another normal trap card when we activate Dimensional Barrier, okay? Dimensional Barrier against Dragon Link, you want to call Synchros because you can't call Links, obviously. He's going to go ahead and banish my Lovely, which was so unfortunate. I probably should have changed Dimensional Barrier to be able to use Labrynth to bring Lovely back. But he regained my Lovely anyways to shuffle her back into my deck. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna just leave that alone, you know. I'm able to shuffle her back next turn, and then I don't think my opponent is gonna be able to do any damage here because I don't think he's able to get above my Lady Labrynth's defense. Okay, so he's gonna go into Romulus. Romulus is gonna go ahead and search him, just Dragon Ravine. Ravine is not gonna be able to do anything. He gets his rocket back to the hand, and then he's going to use Lubellion to special summon to the field and then go into Triple Burst. Triple Burst just hits me for a little bit of damage, 400 damage, and then he's going to grab Strath from his deck, right? And right here, we're going to go ahead and activate Dimensional Barriers, call Synchro, activate Lady to set up my next turn, which is going to be Welcome Labrynth. I'm going to explain to you guys why. And then Labrynth is going to bring back my Stovey. He's going to special summon out his Baldric. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's not a problem. We draw into Lady. We're going to go ahead and Extravagance first, though. We draw into Stovey. So now we have Stovey, discard Stovey, and we have Max C, just in case. So we go ahead, we activate Welcome Labrynth. Lady's going to go ahead and set Dogmatic Punishment. That's going to special summon out Ariana, and we're going to be able to pop the regain. Ariana is going to search me my Cool Clock. The reason is because I want to be able to activate Dogmatic Punishment. But I think I was able to win this duel without even activating Dogmatic Punishment. So Stovey, discard Stovey. Clue Clock is going to come back to the field because we discarded him first. And then we activate Welcome Labrynth. Bring Lovely out of my deck. Bring Cool Clock back to my hand. Lovely pop a card in his hand. We want to try to pop that starter that he's trying to set up for next turn just to be able to stop him. Stovey come back to the field, and right here we do pop the starter. So Lady goes to attack position. We go ahead and set back Big Welcome onto the field. So now we have Dogmatic Punishment as follow-up. We have Big Welcome as follow-up. Lovely on field to pop a card in his hand when he draws it. Come on, this is ridiculous, okay? The amount of advantage that we're able to generate against Dragon Link here is insane, okay? So he's going to go ahead and try to activate to bring Lubellion back to his hand. We're going to go ahead and activate Cool Clock and Max C. He realizes that he has no way to win this duel because from the time he summons Druid Worm, we just go ahead and pop his field spell, pop one in his hand. Now he has no cards in his hand, and he has no way to get Druid Worm off the field unless he Lubellions. And even if he Lubellions send, we can just activate our Dogmatic Punishment, pop Lubellion, Labrynth, bring back whatever he sends to the graveyard, right? So it was going to be full recursion, and we were going to be able to pop his cards. So on to the next duel. Alright, so this one was so unfortunate because we cooked, okay? So you guys see I have Irene in hand. We're going to go ahead and activate Pot of Extravagance. Hopefully we don't hit anything. We do hit one of our kings, our DD King, but we don't hit King Mechanimus. Not too sure how to pronounce that card's name. He's going to go ahead and Ash, so we get rid of the Ash. Irene is going to discard my Impermanence because Impermanence is really not important because we're able to get Welcome Labrynth and Big Welcome Labrynth. So we're able to just go into our King Demex. How do you pronounce this card? Devicer King Dx Machinix? I believe that's how you pronounce it, right? So right here we have Welcome and we have Big Welcome, which means we could pop spells and traps in his hand, or if we want to, we could set up a Dogmatic Punishment. He's gonna go ahead and activate Circular, and King Devicer, King Dx Machinix is gonna go ahead and just absorb his Mathmech Circular. Now it has two materials. If he activates again, we could discard, send those two, detach those two materials and absorb another card. Doesn't really matter. He's going to go ahead and Ash the Welcome Labrynth in the end phase. That doesn't matter as well because we have Ariana in hand, so Ariana could just recycle, and then we draw into Lady. Look at that. So right here we go ahead, we normal summon Lady. He's gonna go ahead and call by the grave Ariana. Normal summon Ariana. He's gonna call by the grave Ariana. It's cool. We're gonna go ahead and activate Welcome Labrynth. Bring Ariana back to hand. Lovely is gonna be able to pop a card in his field, and Lady is gonna be able to set Dimensional Barrier, which means we can turn off XYZs on my opponent's turn here. And he's just gonna scoop it up once he realized that it's just bleak, right? Because we're able to set Welcome Labrynth back to the field, pop a card in his hand, and set Big Welcome back to the field. And next turn, if he activates right before he scoops, because he's about to scoop, if he normal summons a monster, activates its effect, we just absorb it, right? So I think this was an Ignister Mathmech deck. If he had normal summoned the Ignister to search, we would have just activated King Machinex's effect, absorb that monster, so now he wouldn't have had any monsters on the field, and then we could have been able to call XYZ or Synchro. I'm not too sure what he had in this extra deck, probably XYZ, just to avoid him being able to search out any Mathmech cards in his deck. And we also had Welcome Labrynth to bring out, I wouldn't bring out Ariana, I would probably bring out Stovey, so Stovey could set up another Big Welcome or Welcome Labrynth on for the next turn, and then we have Big Welcome Labrynth to pop a card in his hand, right? So full gas. He's just gonna go ahead and scoop it up because he realizes that this is just bleak, right? So on to the next duel. All right, we're here at the next duel. This one is against Floowandereeze, okay? So this one was a little bit more of a grind game because he had set up a whole bunch of cards that I couldn't deal with. We're gonna go ahead and Pot of Extravagance. He's gonna go ahead and activate Dimensional Fissure. Right here, guys, you see that I swapped out my Keldo and Medora for Juris Worm, which is completely dead against this deck, right? So it's like, I mean, we can special summon it off of Shifter, and that does come up later when we try to go for game. Ariana, go ahead and add Lady to hand. We're gonna go ahead and activate Cool Clock, so we can activate Big Welcome here, turn 1. Lady's gonna activate to be able to set a card onto the field. I'm gonna set Domenica Punishment because I think I was up against Floowandereeze. That's what I thought while I was playing. Lovely's gonna go ahead and special summon to the field. We're gonna be able to bring Ariana back to the hand, but because we don't have Big Welcome in the graveyard, we can't set it back off of Lovely Labrynth, right? So that was kind of disappointing. And Maxi is dead in this deck, so it was like, all right, cool. Let's see what happens here. So he's gonna go ahead and normal summon his Floowandereeze Empin. Empin go ahead and allows Robina to come back to hand. Robina is gonna go ahead and search. He's gonna search Ryza. We're gonna activate Dogmatica Punishment just so we can deal with one of his cards here. Actually, no, I completely forgot about this. Dimensional Shifter turns off Dogmatica Punishment. So when I had set Dogmatica Punishment first turn, that was a complete misplay. So yes, that was a misplay. It was an accident. Nothing I could do about it, right? So it's cool though because we have Welcome Labrynth on field now, which means that we can pop his card, whatever card he puts on the field, right? So he's gonna go ahead and go into Ryza. Ryza try to shuffle back Lovely. We're gonna go ahead and use Juris Worm to send his Shifter to the Banish Zone to special summon it, and then hold on, let me make sure I read this correctly. So we chain Punishment. Ryza activates to shuffle back Labrynth. Targets Shifter. We didn't want Shifter back on top of his deck, so we go ahead and Juris Worm the Shifter. So we chain that and then target Shifter. And then Ariana is going to special summon off of Labrynth because Dogmatica Punishment was activated. And Ariana is going to go ahead and search me my Stovey, and Stovey's gonna be able to discard my Maxi, and that's how we set up for next turn, okay? So he's gonna set 2 pass, right? I kind of lost track of what I did there, but then I realized what I did, right? So that was a genius play, actually. That was a very genius play. The reason is this is a genius play is because Stovey now gives me access to Big Welcome Labrynth. Lady gives me access to any trap, and then we're able to summon out Lovely onto the field, spin back Juris Worm, and banish a card that's in the graveyard again, okay? So let's see how this plays out. So we're gonna go ahead and activate Welcome Labrynth. Welcome Labrynth is going to not give me a pop because I chained it to his Floowandereeze, as you guys can see there. So he's gonna go ahead and activate normal summon Empin, activate Robina back to hand, and then Ariana's gonna go ahead and search me out a card. I think I went for Chandelier here. Chandelier makes the most sense. No, Cool Clock makes the most sense right here. Yes, Cool Clock does make the most sense because now we can activate Big Welcome, right? Even though our Cool Clock is banished. So right now, Big Welcome is now activatable. He's gonna go ahead and go into Empen, and then he's gonna be able to bring back his card from the Banish Zone, his Eaglin from the Banish Zone. We go into Lovely Labrynth, and then we're gonna spin back Ariana back to my hand, pop his Empen using Labrynth. And then we get to pop a card on the field or a card in his hand with Lovely Labrynth, right? So right here, I was like, oh, let me just go ahead and pop his Torkin. I believe is what I popped. It's either I popped his Torkin or his Riser. No. So because Torkin already activated, this was so genius. This was such a genius play. Because Torkin already activated, the resolution of Torkin is to normal summon. So Empen has to activate, right? So Empen was chained. Empen's summon was chained to Torkin. So now we could go ahead and just lovely pop the Empen. And now he has no plays, right? Because Empen wasn't able to activate to search. So we just go ahead and normal summon and we could just go for game here. Sorry that I was forgetting some of my plays there, guys. I was just remembering it as it was going right there, right? So on to the next duel. All right, here we go. We're up against Tier this time, and we're going second. Crazy, right? So here he's gonna go ahead and activate Grief. We're gonna activate the Max C. We're gonna be able to get a couple of draws here. He's gonna get scared because of Kit Kalos. So Kit Kalos is gonna be on the field. We're gonna go ahead and Ash the Kit Kalos. If you have nothing else to Ash, guys, Ash the Kit Kalos. Trust me, it's the best Ash, because if they don't have a monster in hand, they're just gonna pass turn. And boom, that's exactly what happens, right? So we go ahead, we draw into Imperm, nice draw. We go ahead and activate, well, Labrynth. He's gonna go ahead and chain Max C. We're just gonna chain Lady to that so that we can get around that draw that he gets. He's gonna be able to special summon Havness here. I'm not sure why he didn't send Havness, send Kit, bring Havness to field. I guess he wasn't confident enough that he was gonna mill. So right here he's gonna be able to mill Keldo, mill Medora and mill Keldo, and he's gonna set up my Medora in my graveyard and my Keldo. So I'm like, okay, how do I deal with this, right? I did make a mistake here because I saw that his Meta Noise had targeted his, let me see if I can find it. No, I think that's the next round of activations that he does, right? So there's Meta Noise going to the graveyard. He's going to be able to special summon his Rhino Heart. There's no tier names activated as of yet. Kelback is going to mill again. And there it is. So Meta Noise got chained first. So when I was reading the cards to shuffle back with my Medora, I thought that Meta Noise was chained second. And I didn't have time to search these because I was busy doing something else while I was playing this duel at the exact same time, right? So we go ahead and make Medora. We're trying to force out his Medora. So that's exactly what we did. We're able to force out his Medora and shuffle back his King of the Swamp so he can't go into Grappa. He's going to go ahead and grab Crime. And then right here, he's going to go into Kaleido Heart, which is like, you know, what can I do, right? We'll go ahead and shuffle out my Keldo to be able to stop his other fusion, which basically stops his plays, I believe, right? So we're able to set Welcome Labrynth here onto the field. Yeah, he was doing all of that on my turn. I now remember that part. That part, right? And that was all off of me normal summon Ariana activate, Havness, special summon to the field. That's crazy that Tearlaments can do that. I completely forgot that it was my turn. Wow. It is really my turn here right now, and he was able to set that up. Okay, anyway, so we go ahead and we set Big Welcome to the field. We already activated Cool Clock, right? So now Big Welcome is now live. We're going to go ahead and shuffle back Ariana back to my hand. Go ahead and pop that Rhino Heart because I know it's going to get banished, so it's not going to be able to activate. We're going to go ahead and activate Lovely, pop the Crime. I'm completely fine with him getting Rhino back to his hand once Crime is not on the field, right? That's what worries me. We'll go ahead and we set 3 pass after beating over his Kit Kalos. So now it's like, how do we deal with this? We go ahead and we activate Imperm just to be able to special summon with Labrynth. He's gonna go ahead and banish my lady right there with his Druid's Worm. Nothing I can do about that. So I'm like, okay, cool. If he banished it, he banished it. We're just gonna be able to set up the other Lovely from my deck. So we go ahead, Lady from my deck. So we go ahead and bring Lady out. Labrynth pops his Kaleido Heart. We do have Dimensional Barrier here, so we can activate Dimensional Barrier, activate Lady, set a trap, and then activate Cool Clock to be able to use that trap, right? So that's where we are with it, and we're going to be able to pop a card in his hand. So we go ahead, we chain Dimensional Barrier, and then we activate. He's going to scoop right here. And then we activate Lady right here to be able to set a spell or trap card for my deck. I probably was going to set, not spell or trap card, just trap. I was going to set Dogmatic of Punishment and then turn it over with Cool Clock to be able to pop his Havness, because Havness wouldn't have been able to special summon anything once Barrier was activated, right? So that's how we were able to beat Tier, a well-placed Ash, and pray to the heavens that his mills didn't hit, even though his mills did hit. Okay, so on to another duel. I want to show you guys a crazy mirror match. All right, so check this out, right? So I know someone in my comments had left a comment saying that they played the trap heavy version. So this is the trap heavy version of the deck versus my furniture version. Okay, so we go ahead, we drew into Chandelier and we drew into Stovey, which means we can set a big welcome. We had punishment and we had imperm. So let's see how this plays out. He's going to activate Extravagance. I'm going to go ahead and ash the Extravagance, and then we're going to go ahead and chain Big Welcome to that. Bring out Lady to the field. Lady's going to be able to come back to my hand, and we can just special summon Lady now. Stovey's going to activate. Chandelier is going to activate. This is going to give me access to Welcome Labrynth, just in case we need to use it. So here Stovey is on the field now, and my opponent goes to battle, and then he activates Evenly Match. I didn't do anything to that because why? We're gonna go ahead and special summon Lady to the field. So he sets 4 pass. We draw into Imperm. We go ahead. He's gonna go ahead and activate Metaverse to activate Labrynth from his deck. We're gonna activate Big Welcome to be able to bounce that Labrynth back to his hand. And he's gonna go ahead and activate Welcome Labrynth. I know I could have chained. No, I already chained Lady to put Welcome Labrynth on field. He's gonna activate Torrential Tribute. This fool, yo, brother, your Lady is only protected by opponents' cards. Opponents, okay? Opponents' card effects, okay? Not your card effects. Mine is protected from this. Yours is not. Okay, all right. So he's gonna set Welcome Labrynth and pop his own Lady. What a dembo. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and hit him for 3,000. We have punishment, we have welcome, and we have Imperm and Stovey and Chandelier. Well, just Chandelier in rotation, right? He's gonna go ahead and activate his Labrynth. We're gonna chain my Lady to his welcome. And set Eradicated Epidemic Virus. This was complete bait. I wanted him to pop the virus because I knew that he wouldn't have went for anything else because people are scared of the Epidemic Virus. So I set the Epidemic Virus knowing he would go for it. We go ahead and we activate punishment on his Lovely. He's gonna go ahead and activate his Lady to set Big Welcome. We special summon out my Lovely off of Welcome Labrynth. Go ahead and pop his Lovely, and then we're able to get a draw as well. So him not hitting that punishment hurt him right there, right? So we're able to get a draw off, and we draw into Ariana. We go ahead and pop his punishment, so now he can't do anything about that. We're going to activate Lovely, set Eradicated Virus back to the field. The reason why I did this is because I wanted to force out this card for him to Labrynth to pop my Epidemic Virus, because I know this is Big Welcome. But when you do some counting here, he already has his Lovely in graveyard, he has his Lady in graveyard, and he has his other Lady on field, right? So let's see what he does here. So we're gonna go ahead and normal summon Ariana. Ariana, activate Cool Clock. I'm really trying to bait him to get him to pop this Epidemic Virus, okay? He's gonna go ahead and Big Welcome right here. I'm gonna go ahead and activate Lady to the chain of that. He's gonna get a pop off. We set Terrors of the Overroot. So in this build, I had dropped Keldo and Medora, and I was trying out different traps. So I had set Terrors of the Overroot. If it wasn't Terrors of the Overroot, I probably would have set Imperm, and he probably would have gone after the Imperm as well, right? Because he still doesn't know what this card is, right? So he goes after the Terrors of the Overroot. We're able to set up Big Welcome because of Chandelier. Cool Clock is going to activate to special summon to the field. His Welcome Labrynth is going to set back to the back row. We're going to go ahead and activate Big Welcome, send back Cool Clock to my hand. Lovely is going to activate. We're able to chain our Welcome and our Chandelier to bring Chandelier back to the hand. Now, this is why I win this duel. I win this duel because my Chandelier and my Stovey kept on giving me traps in my back row, and he didn't know how to deal with that, right? So his heavy trap version has no reoccursion. His only 2 reoccursions is his Big Welcome in the graveyard and his Welcome Labrynth onto the field. Versus me, I'm able to set traps from the deck, obviously with Lady, and I'm able to set up my big welcome and my welcomes. While he's over here trying to set his big welcomes and his welcomes with his ladies, I'm able to just use Chandelier and Stovey to be able to set mine, right? So we go ahead, we pop the Labrynth. I realized I was giving him too much advantage. We go into main phase 2, end phase, because we didn't want to go into any other plays, and we already activated Welcome Labrynth, so I couldn't special summon from my extra deck besides Fiend monsters, right? So he goes ahead, he special summons Ariana. We're going to Epidemic Virus that, and then just to make sure I can see what card he has in his hand. That's why that was there. I just wanted to see what he had in his hand. We're going to go ahead and Big Welcome, bring back my Ariana back to my hand, negate the effect of his Ariana. Lovely is going to activate. And then Ariana's going to activate, and then he's going to activate his big welcome to bounce back Lovely to my hand. But this is why I chained Ariana. I literally saw the play coming. I told myself, if I chain Ariana, bring Lovely, and he brings my Lovely back to my hand with his bounce with big welcome, then I could just special summon Lovely back to the field, which is exactly what he did. He went after the bounce on my Lovely. So now that Lovely's back in my hand, I could just use Ariana's resolve effect to just special summon her back to the field. We go ahead, we pop his Lady. He's gonna be able to set his Lovely onto the field, his welcome Labrynth right there, and then we have a free welcome Labrynth in his end phase to just be able to special summon my Lady. So look at this guy on his trap version, right? We have not played Maxi all game, and we still have more cards than him. The reason why we have so much cards in rotation is, again, guys, because of Chandelier and Stovey. Stovey started it, then Chandelier continued it because obviously he banished my Stovey. And then Cool Clock is also in rotation now because we have Ariana that added Cool Clock to my hand. So, you know, this duel is, you could really see why he lost this duel. He just was running out of gas, and the furniture version does not run out of gas. We're going to be able to activate Cool Clock, discard, bring Cool Clock back to the field, big welcome, activate, pop a card in his hand, pop a card on the field. Lady's going to activate to set a card onto the field. We're going to go ahead and set Imperm just in case he's able to special summon something. We go ahead, we special summon Lady from the graveyard. And then Welcome Labrynth is going to activate, Lovely is going to activate, Chandelier is going to activate, and the gas is just too real, okay? We're going to go ahead and pop his Welcome Labrynth just to stop that, you know, and then we normal summon Ariana, add Welcome Labrynth. Lovely, go ahead and set Big Welcome, so now we have Welcome, Big Welcome, and Imperm. Go for game. Okay, so don't say the furniture version is not as good as the old trap version, because clearly set 4 pass does not win. Alright guys, so here you go, one more duel. I already showed you guys the other duel with Irene going full combo, so here we go. So Irene is going to go ahead and send my Eradicated Epidemic Virus. He's going to activate Shifty, he's going to activate Maxi. We're just going to go ahead and ash that Maxi real quick. Special summon Ariana, add big welcome. Go into Wave King Caesar into King Deus Machinix. At this time I did not have Marksman in my extra deck. I forgot to put him in, so I couldn't absorb his cards 3 times, right? We only had 2 absorbs. He's playing Traptrix. We're gonna go ahead and absorb that Traptrix monster really quickly. You know, it doesn't really matter. He's gonna get the trap, get the field spell, normal summon again, and then we're just gonna absorb that too. So now his only deal right now is to just set pass, right? Because he can't special summon anything because his graveyard is empty, and yeah, it's game, right? So we go ahead and just attack. The reason is because I wanted to set up Zeus so that, you know, he would be scared to activate his traps or anything like that. And we have big welcome on field already, so we're gonna go ahead and activate Maxi right here, get a draw off of that. Cool Clock, that draw actually won me the duel, right? Because we drew into Ariana, which was that extra discard that I needed. So Cool Clock is going to go ahead and activate, special summon itself to the field because we discarded off of Stovey. Activate Welcome Labrynth. He's going to activate Maxi. I don't think the Maxi matters anymore. We're going to go ahead and special summon Lady set Terras, and then big welcome, special summon Lovely. Lovely's gonna go ahead and pop. Stovey's gonna go ahead and activate to special summon to the field, and Cool Clock is gonna end up in our hand. So we're gonna go ahead and pop a card in his hand. We popped Evenly Match, and we have Terras on the overroot. Terras is gonna activate, go ahead and send his... I know what you guys are thinking. I completely forgot to activate Lovely to set a card from my graveyard. Yes, I did. Okay, alright. So moving on. Terrace is going to go ahead and set his Max C. We're going to activate Cool Clock right here, which means that we have a free pop. And don't forget, we have a free board wipe, right? So he's going to be able to special summon. We're going to go ahead and activate Dogmatic Punishment. Punishment is going to send Entis. Entis is going to go ahead and pop his Sarah. And then Welcome is going to be able to set to the field. And Lovely is going to be able to just pop a card in his hand. So now he only has 2 cards in hand and a set Max C. Welcome is now on the field. He's going to pop my Welcome. He's going to activate that to special summon his Diana back, and then we're just going to activate Big Welcome to send that back to the hand so he can't go into any XYZ plays. He's going to go ahead and activate his Tune to put a card at the bottom of his deck, and then he's just going to pass turn and scoop it up, right? So that's it for the replays. Let's jump straight back to the deck list. Okay guys, so I had so much more replays I could show you guys, but we're going to cut the video here. Thank you guys for all the support of me coming back and all that stuff, right? So take care, stay blessed, stay highly favored. Oh crap. Stay blessed, stay highly favored. It's been your boy Jay Pizzy. Peace. I'm signing out.